Imagine, if you will, waking up and having all the dreams and nightmares available to you finally after all your life. Well, I have had that happen, and now I'm able to write these stories and present them to you. Here is my vlog. I'm presenting to you Road to the Wardens of the Dawn, where I'm writing books and telling you of my journey as doing so. Join me as we go into each vlog. Thank you. Welcome back to my vlog. And I'm going to end the year with this vlog. So we're going to do a little review on what I've done in 2025. I'm going to talk about the five tips that I learned from this year that I'm going to pass on to you for writing your own projects. And Chris has given me a time lapse of the cover painting. And then we'll finish with updates. Stick around. It's going to be a jolly, jolly time. 2025 has been a very imaginative and amazing journey. I completed my writings on book one, and that means I've done three complete rewrites, and the fourth rewrite is happening right now with the editor. With Chris's help, I have a full book cover ready, painting, sitting on the wall behind me, but we'll see later on today, or later on in this video, a time lapse of that. I have a full marketing and publishing plan ready. I have to bounce that off a few authors, and some of them made the comment they wish they had that on their first book, because it's what they've learned after three books. And I'm already 80% written into book two. It's not been, 2025 has had its challenges, especially outside my writing journey, but in my writing journey, it's been amazing. And I hope that you can see in the vlogs that I've recorded this year that it's a journey that you've been with me on. Hang around. In the next bit, we're going to talk about the tips and tricks, the 5 most powerful things I learned in 2025. Though I started my writer's journey many, many years ago, I never really got to any point of publication or sharing it beyond my family and friends. Um, I have this year picked up a lot of things that I've learned, and in this I want to show them and teach them to you, and hopefully they have meaning for you as they do for me. Many years ago, I took a course in high school, and it was a course on free writing, just to simply sit down and get your thoughts into a journal, and then from those thoughts, take out bits and pieces to inspire you to write something more comprehensive. And I attribute this to my high school teacher, and I really, really have taken that to heart for all these years, these 50 years that I've been on this planet. Um, and now it comes down to just do it. Just sit down, put your words on paper. Writing is a habit, and if you write every day, if you write every within a ritual, you make your rituals, you do it, just do it. And then what you're going to get out of it is it's going to be an opportunity. Um, when you start it, it's not going to be perfect. But the more I write now, writing book two is a lot easier than writing book one was. And as I am putting down my ideas for book three, book four, book five, book six now, everything everything is out there. And that's how I do it. I just write. I write something down, I put it aside, I read it, I think about what it can give me more, I brainstorm on it, and I come up with these interesting ideas. Just do it. When I first started writing, it was just freehand into journals. Um, and then it started becoming into word processing and went into a variety of word processors. Now I use the Microsoft suite, so Microsoft Word is my primary writing tool. And also, it was necessary I learned how to type. Um, I can't see my thought flows going onto the computer if I couldn't type. Again, the school a high school tool that, because of my career in IT, typing has been a major component of my life. I'm able to sit down and work through the thoughts and let the writing finger go through my fingertips and then go on to the paper. And when I type, I'm going to make mistakes. When I type, I'm going to misspell words. When I type, I'm going to be um, all over the place in my writing. And when I type because I'm getting the thoughts out. I'll go back and I'll deal with the editing later. The first draft, as I put it down, is for ideas. I'll make it pretty later by putting grammar rules into it or adjusting scenes or making a character see something a little bit more. If I was to just write a sentence and then go back and make it grammatically correct and then go to the next sentence grammatically correct, I will not have a flow of thought. And that's what I learned. You've got to let the flow go. Fix it later. Get it down. And though I make a habit of writing, there's a time where life pushes you. There's a time when the thoughts stale and stigmatize. There's a time when you finish the meal, now you got to put more bread in the oven and let it rise. And I call that taking a break, but keep imagining. And that is stepping away from your project, live your life, be inspired by what you see, but always have things cooking in the oven. The character for book 6 started off with just a inspiration I got from watching the Netflix Frankenstein movie. And she's turned into something since then. And now, with all my notes and I brainstorm with my co-pilot, um, now I got the actual idea of that character. Um, not putting her away. I'm not writing book 6 yet. I'm still on book 2. But now I can think about that. This is what happens. Inspiration will come to you when it comes to you. You can't control it. You can't stand in its way. But you can deny it and ignore it, and then you lose it. So taking your break away from the writing, but letting your mind keep going, that's what I've learned this year. Sometimes you just got to have that cup of coffee, and then you got to let your brain go free. Or you sit down and like I said, I put my ideas down into the Microsoft and I use the Microsoft Word for my processing or word processing. I use OneNote to store all my ideas and I got a OneNote profile file, 60 pages right now with all my notes from all my different stories and all my different characters and all my different dialogues, all my different scenes. And that all comes from my brainstorms. And sometimes the brainstorms is just all by myself. Sometimes I brainstorm with Microsoft Copilot. And sometimes I need more. But I do organize it. Everything I have an idea on, I'm putting down. I'm using Microsoft OneNote for that. So I'm fortunate that I have a wonderful family. And we can go out to a restaurant and we're sitting there and I get a question, hey, what are you doing with your books? And then I said, well, I'm working on this idea, but I need some, what do you think about it? And then I bounce an idea off of them. And it strengthens my stories because then I get a different perspective. Also, it's nice that my family has some background in science, so my fiction can be a little bit more believable. Talk to somebody about your idea, someone you trust. You can also use Copilot, but keep in mind the only disadvantage of this kind of thing with Copilot is that it's always going to say you're fantastic and wonderful and that's a great idea. It's not going to be able to tell you that sucks, try it again. And sometimes you need to hear that. So that's why you need a real person. Someone though that you love, someone know that you trust. You need to have your perspective challenged in order for your story to get stronger. And I would say, of all the ideas, that this one, the bouncing off of ideas, the interaction, the debating, has strengthened my stories greatly. Just do it with the people you trust. So those are my 5 tips. Those are the things I learned from this year. And now you can take them or leave them however you want. I hope that you use them for your own writings, whether you're doing that epic poetry or starting your own novels, or is it just simply a collection of short stories? Let it out. It's there in your head for a reason. Don't worry about the judgment of others. It's for yourself. Stephen King, he wrote all his wonderful stories. He wrote them for himself. I'm writing these for myself and letting you, hopefully, when I'm publishing, letting you have the option to choose to write or read them. Write. So, Chris Clarkson is one of the most talented artists I've ever met. And now he's given me the cover, and now it's a painting sitting here above my head. But more importantly, he's now given us a time lapse on how he wrote it. It's 2.5 minutes. I put some epic music in with it. Please join me as we watch Chris building this wonderful painting, which took about 40, 50 hours, he said. So as we end the year, this is where we are with the updates. Revolt on Prime Book One is still with Joanne, and the editing continues. The cover is hanging on my wall, and we've already started doing art processes to see what it would look like, and I put that in earlier vlogs so you can see what the cover might look like. On book 2, I've just completed scene 26. Scene 27 is waiting for me, but so is Christmas. So this week I may write scene 27, but then I'm going to take my Christmas leave. And I will be not vlogging for a few weeks and not writing for a few weeks. Also, as I said, the creation of the character for book 6 is also starting to materialize the story for book 6. It's going to be interesting. And just so you know, the overall plan. Book 1, 2, and 3 is a trilogy, The Wardens of the Dawn. Book 4 is a book only about Everett James. Book 5, 6, and 7 is taking one of our characters into a higher role, and he is going to be dealing with a perspective of having an entire set of 7 worlds resolved in each book. And book 5 is going to be a set of 7 worlds of dragons. Book 6 is going to be what I'm calling the Nightmare Realms. And book 7 is the epic conclusion for the epic conclusion of all the stories. So lots of work going on. Everything is coming out. The brainstorms are happening, but now is Christmas time. And the family of Prime wishes me to wish you a Merry Christmas. So I put together this picture, which has our characters from Prime in the background, the hooded figure. Then we have the little boy in the front, Everett James, his father above him, Rick. Next to Rick, the younger Billy. The AI decided to give Billy a younger, smaller, shorter version. Don't know why. Not part of the story. In the back here, you have Albert, and then next to him, you have Kid Trauma. Our characters all enjoying a Christmas holiday, and of course, in the background, you can see the Underworld City. I made this and I put the actual full picture on my Facebook, so you can also, if you like to print it out and stick it on your wall, as a Christmas card from the folks from Prime. And also, I made a Christmas card from the book 2 that's at the front cover of this vlog. It's also on my Facebook. You can also download that. Take them as Christmas cards from me. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. May all your dreams come true. Be safe. We'll see you in 2026. Bye-bye.